Hi all, we are going to see in Appian how to create dashboards. So basically different types of charts and graphs. So for the example, I have taken the recent election result that has just concluded. In this election, what are the different parameters on which we can create charts and graphs that we are going to see about here. For example, like how many total constituencies are there? 543. Total voters, how many have participated in the election, and how many total contestants were there. And here you can see the images of the prominent figures which were there for this election, and their number of seats won as well. So here you can see 240 seats won, 99, 37 seats and all. And with the help of different graphs, we have tried to analyze the results much better. For example, here this is a bar chart which is now shows like which party has won how many seats. So here you can see BJP has won 240, Congress 99, the third largest party was Samajwadi, 37 seats. So this is the like top 10 parties with their number of seats which has won. And here with the help of pie chart, we have shown the vote distribution, how many seats they have won. And here we are showing like what was the total percentage of votes that out of the total votes that they have got. So here you can see all the different parties are there and their vote percentage is there. After that, these are some of the top candidates were also there in the election. For example, Amit Shah is there, Rahul Gandhi has contested from 2 seats, and then Narendra Modi, and there the margins has been shown here, like with what margin they have won. And this is an interesting graph here. So here you can see that total contestants versus seats won. So here you can see BJP has total 3747 contestants were there for the BJP, and out of which 240 have won. And here second one is the Samajwadi party, was the second party which has the most number of contestants, which is 1644, and they have won around 37 seats there. So this graph shows us more about that, and this graph is by default not available. It is a plugin which I have downloaded from the app market. This is a donut graph. And finally the seat wise data in the read only grid we are showing here. So we will go and discuss in detail like how each of the graph was made, what are the different aggregation methods we have used. So a lot of learning is going to be okay. So let's get started on creating this amazing dashboard. Let's understand the data first, then we can move on creating our dashboard. So what we will do, first of all, this is the table which I have created, ADA election results. Okay, now let's try to understand the data. How we are going to utilize this data. The data is in this table is pretty much simple. First field you can see here IDPK is there, which are the IDPK, total 543 data is there, so 543 IDPK. Then the name of the constituency is there, it is in the alphabetical format. Now after that there is a contestant number. It means that how many contestant have contested from that particular seat. So you can see here there is something like Agra, so 18 people have contested from Agra. And then after that there is the leading candidate. Who leading candidate just means that the candidate who has won the election, and this is the party of the candidate. Who has lost the election means second spot, and what is the party of that one. And this is the margin by which what are the total number of votes by which they have won. And finally the status is there, that is results declared. So it is not of that much use status part, but these are the particularly the data which are available here. Let's move on creating our interface. Now we have understood the data set of ours, so we can finally move on creating our interface part. So interface part, you might have seen that the first row is nothing but it is showing like how many constituencies are total there, how many total voters are there, how many total contestants are there. How we are going to measure that? So for that we will create specific rules in order to get that data. So here we just have to let's put a header content layout here, and let's go in the expression mode, and we don't need this colors and all in that one here. Now let's before here in the card layout, what we have to put for that we have to create rules. So in that first rule we have to create aggregation rules here. So in our first rule we are going to get the total voters KPI. So total voters KPI is nothing but it will try to show that this particular data, like what was that constituencies, how many voters are there, one might think that in order to get the total constituency, we can use the IDPK as well. Total IDPK is 543. But what if the data is more than 5000? Then it will be a big issue, right? So here we can also use our query editor as well. It will be much faster. And if you are learning for the first time, it will help you a lot in making your queries much faster. Just select your record type, click on continue. And here we want to aggregate the data. Why we are aggregating? Aggregating is the way in which we can get our distinct data, and that counts as well. In aggregation there are two things. Either you can group the data together, either you can do some mathematical calculation like total data and all. As of now we don't want to group any data. We just want to get like what were the total constituencies are there. How we can get that? We just can create a measure as well. So we, in order to get total constituency, we can get the IDPK, and here if we can write here, so it will give us the total constituencies. Next measure we will add it here. The second measure is like how many total voters were there. So margin is the part which give us the margin by which they have won. Either it doesn't recognize the total voters, but it's still fine. So and here we can give the total constituency is count here function, and here voters we can write it. And voters should not be count, it is the sum of the total voters. We want the total number of voters here, so here it will be sum. Next margin what I will do here is here I will just write here voters. The next margin is going to be how many total contestants were there. Total contestants means contestant number, and here as well we will put a sum here, and here instead of num and all we can remove that. So it will give us the total data. Here you can test it and you can get the data as well. See here, constituency is 543, total voters how many are there, total contestant how many are there, and we are able to get the data. Click on generate query. Once you have generated the query, you can test it out and you can check the complete data as well. So our KPI data is ready. Let's click on save our changes, go back to our interface, and here we will create local variables, and in our local variables we will put this data KPI data, and it is inside this rule. So this is the KPI data, one item is there, and in that one item 3 data we have there. And now what we will do here is local bank KPI values. So because what we want here is not just the data we want to show, we want to show the complete thing. So first of all I will add here is icon. So what is the icon we are going to use for the same one here? So first icon is going to be atom, and then we will use here, after icon we will use the label, and the first label is going to be total. This is the total constituency. This is going to be our very first label. Copy that, and now let's use it. And the third label is going to be the value. So the value is going to be local bank KPI data dot 2NC. So here you can see the KPI value is now able to show the data 543 here. Fine. Similarly we can just go and copy it 2 more times because we have 2 more KPIs. The second data is going to be our total voters. So total voter, and the third data is total contestant, and here we will use another icon, and here we will use here user icon. So these are my KPIs data which are now ready here. Now let's try to see our header. So first of all we will in the header it can be a card layout only, so I will just use here card layout, and in the contents of the card layout what we will use here, we will use here columns layout. So this is the columns, and the columns, how many columns are going to be, for that there is the loop. So items over which we want to iterate is local bank KPI values, and in the expression we will just write here column. So this is going to be our column layout, and in the contents of the column it is going to be a separate card layout again, so that we are able to see all the data together. So here you can see separate 3 cards have been showing here. Now in these 3 cards what we have to do is, now in the card layout let's add a rich text display field. So this is going to be a rich text display field. The value is this one here, and the first is going to be a rich text icon, and the icon is, where is our icon? So icon is in FB buying item dot icon. So this is going to be your icon. So here you can see all the icons have now populated here. After the icon, let's increase the size of the icon as well. So the size is going to be medium plus, and now after the icon we will give here, let's collapse this one, and we will add char 32, which will add a tab space. Let's add a rich text item. Now in the text, what we are going to use here is FB buying item dot, what was the second thing? Label. And the label is this one, total constituency, total voters and all, it is coming here, and the size is going to be medium plus for this as well. And let's make the, okay, this one is that done. And now let's give a char 10, which will add a new line, and again we will try to write the same thing but with the different key value, and here we will use the value part here, and instead of medium plus we will add here large, so it will give us a better clarity. And now let's align everything into our center so that it looks much better. So this is the center part here, and here is how it looks like. So we have got the total constituencies, total voters, and this one, but I guess everybody is having the same data. No, the values needs to get changed here, right? So second is going to be the voters, and the third is going to be the contestant here. So total contestants and all, we have got it. So that was the very first KPI that we have just now created. Now for the second one, if you see here we are using the images and all, we can add it, but where we will get this data? 240 seats, 99 data, 37 data, how we are going to get that data? So in order to get that data, what we will do here, we will go to our rule and we will get another rule here, party seats. So which party has won how many seats? So we are going to show them the data from here. So again we can go on to our launch the query editor. Here we will just write the same query record type ADA election result, click on continue, and here we are going to aggregate the data based on the leading party, because leading here means the party which has won. Okay, so what we will do here, click on group the data, and after grouping, let's try to add the leading, not leading candidate, but it should be leading party, and here it is nothing but the party. And let's add a measure like how many seats total they have won. So IDPK, obviously it will be IDPK, how many seats they have won, and here you can write seats. Click on generate query. So when you will generate the query, click on test tool, let's see the data. So here you can see 42 different parties are there. So but first of all it is showing Aam Aadmi Party, Azad, AJ, something other things are showing here. We want the data to be sorted. So I will just use the sort here, and I will use here sort info, and the field over which you want to sort here is, I will use here seats, because on the basis of seats only we want to sort, and ascending we can keep it here false. And now let's see the data. That's it, and we will create a rule input for the paging as well. So we will just add here default value so that we can pass a pagination from outside as well. So RI bang paging info. That's it. Click on test tool, it works fine. Click on save the change. So total how many party have won the data, so we are able to get that as well. So let's copy that data here, and local bang seats. So local rule bang this data we have called, and how many data we as of now we want. So as of now, let me give the paging info as a bank paging info. I just need 5 data maximum, that's it. So here if I check in the local variables, I will get the 5 data, and click on test rule. So I will get, I need to pass the sort as well. Okay, so what I will do here, start index is 1, okay, and the batch size is 5 here, and I will sort here with seats. Okay, and now I will sort the data with seats here. So here you can see the results is available here as well, how many each one have won, how many each party have won. And now let's create the KPI data. Okay, party party seats KPI, and in each of the KPI what we are going to keep here is first of all there we want that their image, the party candidate whoever is was the leader of that party, so their logo image should be there, then the logo image should be there, and how many seats they have won. So three data it should contain basically. So for the logo I have the logo in my okay, this one. So let me just go in the documents part. So here you can see here I have now added all that important images that were necessary for me, and by default it will create the constants for this one as well. And this is the we are now creating the constant for all the documents. Just click on create button and it will create the constant for all of them, and one by one we just have to go and refer this particular documents there. So let's go to first of all let's go to SS BJP logo is there. So I will just go here and cons bang, this is the BJP logo. After that there we have to show the doc image as well of that particular party. So let me just go here and select this particular constant. This is the document of that party leader image, and finally the value, how many seats they have won. So the seats total that they have won is nothing but local bank seats, and here we can just go local bank seats dot seats and index of 1. So this is nothing but the first party is, I know that this is BJP first party. We can also use display value function as well here instead of putting directly 1. For example, let me show you like this one value, the value that we are looking for, the value like how many seats BJP has won. So I will just give it here BJP. Okay, the array in which we are looking for is nothing but local bank seats dot party, and then the value that we want in return, the value that we want in return is the seats, and if it is not there just return null. That's it. So this will give us the data, and finally it has become the very first KPI data. Cut it from here, paste it here. Similarly we want 3 more KPIs here. Copy it, okay, paste it once again and paste it once again, and in the second logo I want a different one. Okay, so it is Congress logo. Copy the logo here and paste it here, and the leader of the Congress, this is the constant for that one I have used. So let me just use this constant here, and in the second one is going to be different. So what we will do here is Indian National Congress. So this is instead of BJP I will write here this one. Now the third logo is going to be of this one. Copy this constant here and paste it here, and the name of the image as well. Okay, copy the constant name and again let's paste it here. Okay, instead of this one we will paste it here, and what is the name here? So the name we are going to write the same name here as well. So let me just remove all this name and let's paste it. So finally our this KPI data, party seats KPI, have also been ready, and we will now use how to show that data here. So in order to show that the data we will use, now let's use here columns layout. I guess columns layout can be directly used here. Now let's take a columns layout. In that columns what we will use here, for each. Okay, the items over which I want to iterate is local bank party seats KPI, and in the expression what we are going to use here is, now in the expression what we are going to use here is column layout. Okay, this is the column layout, and the contents of the column is going to be billboard. Now in the billboard layout we have to show the background media, and the background media can be shown with the help of document image, and the document is going to be FV Bank item dot this is the background media. So which one we should use it? We should use the doc one. Okay, because this is containing the pictures of their leaders. So here you can see only one is coming. Why? Click on test, and now the 3 have come. Okay, so all the 3 have come. Great. After that inside that what we will use here is overlay. So see, this one has a feature of overlay, billboard layout. On the in front of the image, if you want to add anything, you can do that. So in the overlay, which overlay we should use? Bar overlay we will use it, bar overlay. So here by default shows like this one, and let's add the contents for the bar overlay. So the contents is going to be basically, we want to show a image field first of all, right? So it will be having a side by side layout, because we want to show two things horizontally. So items, and items is going to be side by side item, and the item is going to be here first of all FV bang image field we have to take basically, then we can show the image. Here is the images here, and after the images we have to use here document image. Okay, and the document that we are going to show here is FV bang item dot it was logo, right? Yes, it has to be logo image here. So finally the logo we should be able to get, but see, it is showing like this one. We have to adjust the image size and all. So now the image has been added here. After that what we are going to do here is, see these images, and we will change the style of this image actually. So let's change the style to avatar. So it will now show the image in circles here. So you can see by default the size also got adjusted. Now after this, let's take another side by side item here. So it is the side by side item, and the item over which I want to iterate here is, we want to show the number of total seats that they have won. Every buying item dot value it was. So okay, directly we can't show, right? Directly I can't show. I have to take a rich text display field here, and here in the value section I will add a rich text item, and the text is going to be this one, every buying item dot value. So here you can see the value part here, and let's increase the size of to medium here, and it will, after that there is some gap here, so we have to minimize the width of this particular side by side item. So let's minimize the width of this one, so that it will accommodate the data. So now here you can see the data as well, and if you see here 243 is not inside the between the center, so we will just add here caret 10. It is more towards the up. So let's add a new line here. Let's see that whether it works. Yeah, now it looks much better. And the overlay, this particular component has the overlay. This one is showing much more darker here. So we can also increase, we can also change the style as well. Semi dark we can keep it, and now it is looking much better. So finally we have concluded this as well, and we have completed the image part as well here. And whatever the total voters that you are going to see here, this one we have to show like comma, right? Comma separated. This is the text item and this is the value. So what I will do here in that, see the total voter is on the index 2, that I know that. So I will just add a if condition here. If now if FV bang index, so if FV bang index is equal to 2, then only this particular thing should apply. So this is the text value, and let me just cut it here and paste it here, and here I will just add like 0 0 comma 0 0 comma 0 0 comma 0 0 0. Let's see whether it works or not. And here if it is not there, then it should show like this one. So here you can see 8 crores 79 lakh 93,745 voters. Okay, and here it is the total contestant 9,000 obviously is there. So this is the our basic part has been clear. Now the next part that we are going to show here is the graphs, how to show the data in the graphs. So let's move on to our graph part now. So let's go to the design mode, and let's add a card layout in the contents here. Now in this card layout we will use here columns layout, and in the 2 columns that we are going to use, we will show 2 different graphs here. So first one is the column layout, and we will take another column layout as well. Just copy it here, paste it here. Okay, now let's take the contents here, and the contents inside the column we are going to take a card layout, and in the card layout we will add the contents here. First of all, we just want to add a bar graph, and in this one also let's make the same thing as of now, contents, and the content is going to be a card layout, and inside that as well contents are there. So first one is going to be our bar chart. So this, in this bar chart field, if you add, okay, let's add the label. The label is going to be top party with most seats, how many total seat each party has won. Okay, and the data, the data is going to be record data. Okay, and here the record type is going to be our ADA election result. Okay, and after that there is bar chart. See, every charts is going to have the configuration of its own. So first of all you have to write the config part, and then if it is a bar chart it will show the bar chart config, if it is some other chart it will show the pie chart config or something else as well. Fine, and here in the bar chart there is groupings, so on which you want to actually add the group here. So you want to group the data based on the, I want to group the data based on the leading parties. Okay, so I will write here A bank grouping. So if you just write here A bank grouping, then you will get like the field over which you want to group. So I want to group here ADA election result dot leading party, this one, and after that alias. So alias is going to be party because it will show us the different data. Now let's see the preview of the data. See, it is just grouping over all the data that is present there, right? All the parties, almost 42 parties were there, so every party, even if they have won 0, then also it is showing the data, but we want to organize this data. So after the grouping, let's also add the measure part. Let's add the measure part here. The field over which I want to measure is ADA election result dot IDPK, and function is going to be the count of the total one, and the alias is going to be seats won. Okay, so this is the one, and the label that they will show here is total seats. So what are the total seats for each party which have secured there, but our data doesn't look much better here. So what I will do here is, now this is the record data, but we don't want the data like this one here. So what we will do here is, after grouping and measures, there is one thing called as something as sort the data. So sorting is also there. So I will just use this functionality, sort info. The field over which you want to sort, I want to sort the data over what? I want to seats, I guess this is the alias, right? Seats won. I want to sort the data over which, and ascending I just want to keep it here false. Now if you see here, all this one is now sorted into the same order. Okay, now but we don't want to show the data who has won 1 seat or 0 seat. I just want to show few data only, so that it is easy for us. So data limit, I will just top 8, I will just add it here like so. All the top 8 party it is able to show. So here you can see here total says 240 they have won, Congress 99, Samajwadi 33, TMC 29, DMK 22. So all this one is now showing the data here. Okay, finally all this one is done. Next graph what we are going to use here is a pie chart here. So in this card layout we will use the pie chart to show the total vote sharing of them. So I will use here pie chart. Okay, and just drag a pie chart here. Now let's try to format this pie chart here. So in this pie chart basically we want to show the data for this one. We want to show like what was the vote share of each party. So our data is going to be the same record data only. So I will use here A bank record data, and the record type is going to be ADA election result. Okay, this is the data, and now let's go to the pie chart config. So let's write the keyword here, configuration config, and here we will use pie chart config. The primary grouping is going to be on what? right, for the pie chart. So here as well, the primary grouping is the same. See, we want what we want. Just try to iterate in the words here. We want that each party has won how much votes here. It means that each party means, first of all we need to find what was the leading party there. That is our primary grouping. Okay, and okay, I have just used this one. Let me just cut it from here. I will use the grouping function, and then the field I want to group is this one. Okay, and the alias is going to be the party. So which party has won? So this is our primary grouping part, and see, now it is able to show the data. And in the measures, what we want basically is we want to see that total what was their vote share. So what was the vote share, how we can know that? See here, now let's say BJP party is there, and this is the margin. We don't have like total how many votes were there for this seat available. We have just got the margin only. So margin only we have to utilize this particular function. We have to utilize that particular field here. Okay, the field over which is going to be ADA election result dot margin. That's it. And the alias is going to be, okay, this is our margin with which they have won, and the function is very important. The function is going to be the sum, means total BJP has the total margin, because we just have margin only, we don't have the total votes. So we are going to utilize that particular part only. And now you can see here the same data it is showing here. Okay, and in order to format it, what we will do, instead of a donut we will use the pie here. Now this color scheme we can remove that. Okay, series on chart, that is fine, and now we are able to see the votes party. Okay, and height is medium, that is also fine, and the label what we are going to use is vote share. Okay, so this is the vote share of party. In order to find the vote share we have used. And now see, the pie chart has very important thing here, that is show as percentage. So whatever the data that you have added, it will by default show as percentage. It will do that, and we will just make it here true, so that it shows us the total percentage of the votes of each party. So here you can see we are not able to see the, so tooltips, that is true. And now let's see that. Okay, see here, Bharatiya Janata Party 52%, Congress 14%, DMK 5.8%, Samajwadi Party is there 3.3%. So vote share of each party we are able to get from there. So that part is ready now. The third graph that we are going to now create here is the graph for the top candidates. Which were the top candidates for each of the party there. So for that one we are going to use another columns layout we will add there, and in that we will add that columns layout. So let's add a columns layout below that. This is the columns layout, and let's remove this one, and here in the graph section we will use here column chart. So this is the column chart for this one. So basically who are the top candidates that we want to show, and there what was the vote share of each candidate that have won. So this is the series and this is the categories. Let's remove that. But first of all we want to know like which top candidates you want the data, because we have the data for each of them, and the candidates we what are the top candidates. First of all we have to define that particular data here, then only we will be able to move forward. So let's say that top candidate. So which are the top candidates? So I will select that the top candidates are these ones. The top candidates are Narendra Modi, and then I will add here Rahul Gandhi. Okay, and after that there is a third candidate, that is Amit Shah. So these are the top candidates which I have now given the name. Okay, and in the database all the names are in capital letter only. So make sure that whatever we have written it is in the capital letter only. So now just we can do here upper, and all the data will be now in the capital letters. Now we have to find the data in the database for this particular data only. Okay, so now we have to create one more local. So local bank candidate data. So here we have to create the data. So let me just create a query record type here for this particular data only. So what I will do here is I can go in my, see, once you have written query record type, and after that you can go inside the query editor and directly launch it. So I will just add here ADA query editor has been launched, click on continue, and it should have that leading candidate, right? So I have to add a filter actually here. The filter is going to be leading candidate. So here leading candidate, and the value should be equal to input variables, right? So whatever input variable we have we will choose, so that will come here. Click on generate query. Once we have generated the query, so it should be equal to what? It should be equal to local bank top candidates. So these are, and in that one, instead of equal to, we have to use here in. That's it. So this is the major data, and we can just write here dot data. Now let's check that whether are we able to get the top candidate data or not. So three top candidates we have passed the data, and 4 data we have got. So here you can see Gandhinagar, Amit Shah contested from Gandhinagar, and this is the win margin for them. And then second result is for Raebareli, Rahul Gandhi had contested, and the third one, I guess it is also going to be Rahul Gandhi. No, it is the third one is the Narendra Modi from Varanasi, and the fourth data is from what? From the Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi. So Rahul Gandhi has contested from 2 seats. Now the next thing is like, if we want to show the data of the top candidates, how we are going to show the data in this column chart. Our data is just available, we just have to show the data. So in the column chart, let's rename the label as top candidates. So what are the top candidates here? So what are the categories that are available there? So the category is nothing but the name of the different, you can say, like a constituency also we can say that, or the name of the candidates also. So top candidates data is this one here, and in that we will just go here ADA election result dot fields dot we can write here leading candidate names. So these are our nothing but the categories. So here still I guess it is not available. Okay, we will have to add the series as well. Now for the series, what we will add here is we will add a loop here, because in the series we have to add 3 series here. So I don't want to add 3 one by one all the 3 here. So I will just add a loop, and I will go over local bank, and then I will write here expression, and in the expression I will add the chart series. So in the series, what we will we have to add the label and the data. The label is going to be the FB bank item, we have to write it here, and then ADA election result dot fields dot leading candidate. So this is the label, and the data of this label is going to be what? The data is nothing but going to be their margins. Now the data is going to be the margins here. So I will just show them the margin. So this is our chart series. Now let's see how the data looks like. So see here, Amit Shah has won this one, Rahul Gandhi is there, Rahul Gandhi is there 2 times. Okay, so like this the data is there. We can also sort our data as well, so that our graph will also follow the same. So where is our top candidate data? This is the data, and let's sort the data based on this one. So sort is, we will sort it with the help of sort info. The field over which we want to sort here is ADA election result dot fields dot, basically margin is going to be the one. And now let's click on test interface, and now see here. So Amit Shah has won this one, and the second one is the Rahul Gandhi, third one is also Rahul Gandhi here, and finally fourth one is the Narendra Modi. So this is how we have been able to show the data. So this was our third graph that we have shown in our dashboard. Now for the fourth graph, what we are going to use here is, if you go in the app market, there you will find this donut chart here. Okay, and this donut chart used to show the data. I see within layer by layer it will be able to show the data, and this graph will be helpful in determining that what we want to determine here is, like for example BJP has won 240 seats, but how many actually contestants were for BJP? right? How many they have filled it will give us a better clarity for that. In order to use this graph, what you have to do here is you have to go to the admin console, and in the admin console just go to the plugins part here, click on here add new plugin, and just write the name of the plugin here as donut. See a donut chart. Once you have added the donut chart, and then once you have enabled the donut chart, then you can click on deploy and it will get deployed. I have already deployed it in my environment, so I will just directly use that graph in this one here. So first of all, I will add a card layout. I guess here also I have not added card layout, so let me just add a card layout here. Okay, after that we will try to do the donut chart. So let's me just drag and drop the donut chart here. So once you have dragged the donut chart, let's try to configure the donut chart here. How to work on this donut chart? So basically, in order to show 3 level of series of data sets, we have to basically make here. So the more number of data set you will create, the more number of data you will get here. So I will go here in the donut chart. This is the donut chart basically, and these are the data labels and these are the data sets that are available here. So let's go in the documentation how to write the data sets. So see here, data labels are nothing but the list of the text strings. So list of text string is going to be what? So we will add here the list of text string is nothing but our total contestants. So total contestants were how many? That is nothing but our data. And how we will get to know? Now the data is important here. How we will get the total contestants and how many have actually won the seats and not. So that is very important. So again we have to create a rule in order to get like how many total contestants were of each party. Okay, so we can again go and create a rule here. So let me just duplicate this rule only, and party contestants. Okay, so I can just write here contestant party. So this rule is going to be the total contestants of the party here. How many contestants were of each party? So in the grouping we will group over leading party, that is correct, and instead of finding the ID PK we will just try to find the contestant number, and we will find the sum of the contestant, like each party has fielded how many total contestants. So now you can see here BJP has fielded 3747, means around 4000. So here it is total contestant. So these are the total contestant and these are the parties. So basically we have got all the data here, and okay, let me just copy that part here and paste it here as well. So here we will be able, with the help of this rule, we will be able to get all their contestants, and we are going to work only for the few, you can say like few data only, not all the parties of data we will try to show here. So let's just collapse these particular values here. KPI top candidates, one query rule we have used here, and then local bank. Okay, total contestant, how many total contestants were there? Let's just use the rule bank and paste it here, that's it. And the paging info, so the paging info is going to be the same here as well. Let's me just use the same paging info, copy it, and we will paste it here. And the batch size is going to be not 100, but we will just go with 8 data. I guess in our candidates data as well, or party data, we have used something like 8 only. Okay, now this data is ready. Let's see that the data will be shown in our local variables here. Let's just collapse all these locals at once. Fine. So these are the total contestant of BJP has fielded how many contestants, how many have won. That data we have, we will see then. So let's go to our donut chart now. Now how to write the data set? So data set is going to be a list of list. First list is going to be local bank, total contestant, and then ADA election result. Total contestant is already not a record format but dictionary format. So total contestants is this one, dot like this. So these are the data sets which are present here. Let's see how. Okay, so no data is available as of now. The data set, if you see, it is a list of dictionary, that is why it is not showing. So it is nothing but the data. So it is the data we are able to show in the donut chart. The data will show. See, labels in datasets should not be empty. So inside this one we have to give the labels as well. So what is going to be the labels? So the labels is going to be local bank total contestant dot party. I guess party was the correct label here. And now let's see the data. Now if you see here, okay, let me just correct, instead of labels it should be just label. Okay, now you can see here the data is now able to show here in our donut chart. It is showing like this one. So here you can see the donut chart and all their data, like how many seats each party have won, but it is just too much of data to show. So what we are going to use are 8 contestants. No, we will just show here 5 contestant maximum we will try to show now. And now let's try to see the data. See here, now it is able to see. So the first layer of this donut chart is showing like total each party have how many are there. Now for the second layer, what we should do, right? Second layer is very important. Now for the second layer we have to just show the data, like for each party how many total, you can see that seats they have won. So we know that how many seats they have won actually. So basically what we have, I guess that data is already available somewhere. This is the seat total top 5 seats are available here. So we have the seat data, and here we have the party name as well. So with the help of display value, again we will be able to see that data. So the first is this one. Make sure like the make sure the data sequence is correct. Actually Samajwadi party has more candidates than Congress, and but here the second number is Congress here. So if we don't be careful, then it will be difficult for us, because see here what I want to say. If I just write here data, the data is nothing but a local bank seats dot, where is the data here, seats dot seats. Okay, so this is the seats and the label is going to be seats won, something like this one. Now let's try to see the data. See here, BJP has around 4,000 and 248 has won. That is correct. Samajwadi party has 1644 number of seats, and how many they have won? 99. But that is not correct. 99 is won by Congress, not Samajwadi. So this data is wrong then. So instead of that, what we are going to use here is instead of this data, we will make it a list here. Okay, and in this list we will add the same thing. I guess somewhere we have used our display value function in order to show the data of each parties, right? So here you can see here display value we have used. So in the same order we have to use for the other parties as well. So let's go here and use the display value. So the first data is going to be BJP, that is correct here. Okay, second data is for the Samajwadi party, so that it shows the same data here, the correct data in this donut chart. Okay, and now let's provide this data here. The third data is going for the Congress. We have total of 5 datas here. Okay, and for the Congress, let me just copy this name here and paste it here. We just have to maintain the correct sequence. That is why we are doing this particular step. And this is the third, and now let's make our fourth data. Fourth data is going to be fourth and fifth. I guess it is the same one there as well. So let me just copy the name of this one. One more time we have to do the same thing, display value, and after that it is the DMK one. So let me just copy the, so now it is ready, and this time it will show you the correct data. See here, Samajwadi 1644, and how many? Only 37 they have won. Congress has contested on 1295 seats, and how many they have won? 99. So and TMC has contested 708, they have 129, and DMK 351, they have 122. So like this one, all this data is showing here. So this particular part is also ready, and finally we just in the bottom we can show the grid of the data, so that all the data whatever is available we are able to see that. So let's add one more card at the bottom, and in that we will just add a read only grid there. So this grid will show us all the data. Let's go on to our design mode, and this read only grid we can election result. So all the data of this grid, it will be able to show in this grid only. So all the data we are able to see. Now let's add some few formatting. For example, here you can see in this card layout, wherever there is card layout, so what we can use in the how to format this card layout is we can not show the border. So border we can keep it here false, and show shadow we can keep it true. So this is the true part here. So border not show shadow. Now let's see that how does it look like. So now it looks much better here. So this is the first card layout. Let me just copy the same content here, and wherever there is a card layout we are going to use that. Where is the second one? This one. Let me just copy and paste it here. Let's all the cards are now looking great. This is the graph, the dashboard that we have created. So based on this one, I hope there will be you will be able to learn more about data, like how we can use the different graphs here, and how to configure the data for the graphs, how to show the KPI values. Don't use count. Okay, count is not supposed to work. What you will do when your data in the database is 10,000 or 20,000, then count obviously will not work. Okay, so always we have to aggregate the data. Wherever we have to use the measures, there we have to use measure function. Where we want to group the data, we have to use the grouping function there. So that was the sole objective of this video, to make you aware about like how these things work together and can really help us in creating some beautiful dashboards as well. So that was all for now. Thank you.